Hello everyone, this is a homemade barbecue smoker and I am using an old rusty can that I found in my house. You can also buy a new can from the market. It has an opening over here and a handle attached to it. So we need to clean it up first. So here I am using sandpaper for removing the rust. Then I use some oil and a brush to wipe out the extra rust layer. Then clean it with a piece of cloth and you can see it is almost clean. Last you clean it up with water so that no rust remains. Next we need to cut it into two pieces. First I used my mini hacksaw but it is too loud. Then I thought of using my jigsaw but it is also not working. Lastly, plier is the best option. It smoothly did our job and you can see the bigger one will be our bottom part and that will hold the charcoal and the top will act as a cover. So we need to adjust the edges with the help of a plier. Next I used some metal primer oxide so that no further rusting may occur. And let the color dry overnight, and after this it something look like this. Next we will make a handle because when we will be cooking our smoker will be very hot enough to touch. So I am using a wooden handle. This is made of wooden branch and thin bamboo sticks. Next I will build a chimney system. This is made of aluminum pipe so that the excess smoke will come out from the top of our smoker. Next I am using aluminum L brackets to join all over the corners in both the parts so that our bottom and top part can easily sit above another. So here is all the brackets for each side are ready. We also made the nut holes in both our drum parts. As you can see, we made the nut holes in exact places all over it. Next we need some nuts and a couple of hinges, and I am securing my L brackets with half-inch nuts and bolts. So secure them tightly. Then I am attaching my handle with some fat half-inch screws. Next attach the top part with the hinges. Here I am using M-seal to join our chimney pipe. Next I am using some 12 mm plywood to make our base. You can simply use some metal pipes to make any legs, but I am using wood because it is more stable for my operation. Next I used some whitewood primer and finally painted with some silver color. Next you can see it is looking good after drying. So now our base is ready, and next I added another coat of color and it's looking very good now. So fix it now using some screws. Next we will build our cooking grid. For this I am using a steel net. I cut it in size of my smoker, and for supporting this I am using a aluminum rod. Flat it in both the sides so that it sits perfectly and no gap remains. And finally I tied 3 knots. As you can see, it will hold the plate. Next I made another grid for holding our charcoal. It will be placed at the bottom. I used some metal construction wire and bent in this shape. Then I used 2 aluminum rods in both the ends and used another steel net and tightly bind it with some aluminum wire. Next you can finally place it in the bottom. It will hold our charcoal over here. Next I tied a steel wire between these 2 nuts. It will hold our top cover while open. Also I cut an opening in the cooking grid so that it can securely place over here. It's finally done now. Next is the time for testing. For this I am using some homemade charcoals. You can see these are homemade charcoals over here. Next use a piece of paper, add some cooking oil and burn it. Place a piece of coal. Add more coals over here. Now blow the coals. At one time all the coals will be lit, and you can see at this stage all my coals have turned into white and some of are still black. The black coals will create smokes, so you need to make sure all the coals are white. At this stage stop burning, and you can use this coal to roast your meat. It will hold heat for much longer, about an hour. Next I had some mutton pieces that I already keep marinate, so I am placing them now. So after 40 to 45 minutes the meat pieces are roasted, as you can see. So take it out and enjoy your roast. So subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and hit like if you have enjoyed the video, and also share with your friends. And finally, thank you so much for watching.